Hey everybody, what is going on? This is Daryl, and we are back with another episode of Disc Golf Chat. Now I don't know which way to point. I think I'm pointing this way.
I'm this way. On my screen, you're that way.
I point that way. Anyway, I'm here with the newest FPO champion, Cadence Burge. Cadence, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
How does that sound, by the way? FPO champion.
Oh, I mean, to me, it sounds pretty cool. I mean, I like hearing it.
Honestly, I was like, man, I will tell you, I'm kind of a softie. And when I see people get really happy or really sad, I get teared up. And seeing you lift that trophy, looked like it almost dropped it.
Maybe.
Can I confirm or deny? I'm not going to lie. I was getting a little misty-eyed. And then a couple hours later, Ezra had to go make me do it all over again.
Oh, yeah.
So, one thing I have noticed, I got to mention this first before we really get rolling with you. Do you know Paige Shu?
Yeah, I'm Paige Shu.
Paige Shu and Grady Shu just announced they're expecting baby Shu number 2.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
So I wanted to mention that. Congratulations to them. She was on the podcast, so I definitely want to mention that. Congratulations to them. That is so awesome. Okay, now, first off, we always want to mention the sponsors because sponsors make it so you can do things that you love doing. So Discmania, Monkey Grip Dies, Birdie Bags, and Disrespect, your sponsors. Congratulations to them. And it was nice of them to sponsor your first championship. All right, let's go into that. And then we'll get into the old stuff. But that's too big to just put at the end of the podcast. I mean, what were you thinking starting this week at where was it at, in Iowa?
Yeah, Iowa.
So, starting of the week, did you think I got a chance? You think I'm playing well? Because it's some amazing players out there right now.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that I had a chance. I was coming off of the second at U.S. Women's and the third at Preserve. Mm-hmm. So I was having some pretty good finishes, except for at Discmania Challenge. A lot of the Europeans had actually gone home after U.S. Women's. And so honestly, I felt like they gave me even more of a chance. The field was kind of on the weaker side. Obviously Holland was there, and she's the number 1 player in the world right now. But a lot more of the competition wasn't there. And so definitely I was looking to pick up the first one this week.
I need to get the scorecard up. I meant to have that up too. So first round, what was the thought process going into the first round? What card were you on the first round?
I was on the feature card actually.
Oh, that's right. That's right, because I watched it.
Yeah, it was a Discmania tournament,
and
I was coming off of a good finish the past weekend, so I'm not sure which of the two put me on the card, but either way, I was there.
How did they actually decide that?
I'm pretty sure. I think the tournament director has some say, as well as the Pro Tour themselves. They put whoever won the last event on that card, which would have been Evelina, but she wasn't there. And then they put whoever won the past year on the card. So since Emily won last year, she was put on that card. And then sometimes they'll put a local on the card. So for Music City, I was on the feature card because I'm from close to Nashville. And then if there's a title sponsor like Discmania or MVP or something, they usually will put whoever their best player is onto the card.
Okay. I was wondering how they did that. I was always confused. So that's awesome. So you on lead featured card, lead card the whole week, weren't you?
Yeah, I was all through this.
Oh. So I'm looking at the scores right now. Round 1, 5 under, ahead of the legend herself, Owen Scoggins, who I absolutely adore. If anyone doesn't like her, just leave now. Macy, which I adore Macy, seeing her coming back with her little baby out there, it's so adorable. And Rebecca Don, who another great up and coming young player, which we'll talk about young players coming up in a little bit. But what was it like? End of round one, you're taking the lead, going into round two.
What was it like? Oh.
Yeah.
I think this is only my second time leading going into the second round. I did it preserve, and I know the nerves kind of were getting to me when I was there, and so I was really trying to just not think about it and just play my game, stick to the game plan. And I had a really fun card too, so I think that definitely helped. I mean, Owen and Macy and Rebecca were just an absolute joy to play with. So that round was just really fun.
And you had a caddy, Robbie C. And how much does he help you keep your nerves?
He definitely is. I mean, he's the vibe guy. Like when you need the uplifting spirit, I would say Robbie is definitely your guy. He's not there to like help me with my game plan or disc choice or anything like that. He's not like my coach. He was just simply there to be an uplifting friend and to keep the nerves away.
Yeah, I told you this before. He was the actual first guest I had on the podcast, but and that was back when it was on my comic book channel. So if anybody wants to see that, go look up Disc Golf Chat. It was back on my Simply Incredible podcast, the comic book channel. So yeah, awesome to talk with. And how did you feel with Owen right there? Because we have like the man, I don't want to say, how do I say this right? The veteran Owen Skog. And then you're like really on the younger side. So what's that like?
Honestly, I've been playing with these people a lot more this year. And even last year, I started playing with these people more. And so I think I'm honestly kind of getting used to it. I mean, even though these are people that I've watched for years and I've looked up to, it's oddly starting to feel a little normal being on the card with them. They're kind of just my competitors, my peers now. So, and I mean, I love Owen. I love watching Owen, and she's just, I don't know. It's kind of hard to be mad when she's there.
She's gosh. Whenever I'm in a tournament and I have a chance to walk with her at her card, we're going to have a party. It's a good time. Now, at the end of round two, you have the lead, and now you're going to go to round three. How is that night thinking, I have a chance of winning my first tournament, that process overnight going into practicing before your last round and everything?
Honestly, nerves were at an all-time high. I really fell to those nerves at the preserve, and so the whole time I was just thinking that, I mean, I really wanted to be able to overcome that and not do what I did there. And I mean, I had the added pressure of knowing my family was driving out there as I laid there to go to sleep on their way to come see me. I think I took some Advil PM to just try to get to sleep so I wouldn't stay awake for hours like I did the previous night.
All right. So when you wake up, you go to the disc golf course. What is that like? Your warm up, going to your first tee. What is that like?
I mean, pretty similar to my other days, I would say. I do basically the same routine every time I warm up. So honestly, I'm kind of thinking about that the whole time and trying to stay like in my own rhythm. But the cameras are in the warm-up area. They're watching you warm up. They have the guy who's literally standing 2 feet from you, like with the camera like this, as you're thrown into the net. And it's just like, okay, they're all watching. I gotta do my best.
Gosh, that would terrify me. I just had a tournament in Charlotte, and I told one of my friends this. The hardest part to play is waiting to throw your first shot. You get to the tee, you're waiting. That's the worst for me. But after that first shot, I feel like the rhythm starts to come. But just waiting for that first shot. I mean, are you like that, or are you just like just talking to people, or?
I feel like that the entire round, basically. Like the first shot will sometimes take like a little bit of weight off my shoulders, but I hate waiting. Like the second somebody else throws, I'm just ready to be at my shot and it be my turn. Like backups definitely make that worse for me, and people taking their time makes that worse because I'm just so like antsy to get to my shot.
How do you pass the time? Like, because I see so many tournaments now where there might be 2 cards waiting to tee. I mean, how do you pass that time?
Usually I'm honestly just like scrolling my phone or playing a game or something. But
Mm-hmm.
for the past several tournaments, it actually hasn't been bad for me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be because I've been on like one of the higher cards. Like I've been on lead card for several, and chase card, and they actually have like a buffer.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like 30 minutes I think in between, rather than the 12 minutes that every other card gets.
Right.
So I think that has actually given me a little bit of an advantage to not having to wait and go through that process.
Mm-hmm. I am glad that they've actually started doing that. Gosh, at U.S. Women's 2023, that was the first big tournament I went to in Burlington. By the way, I saw you there. You didn't see me, but I saw you. There's actually a clip on here of you teeing off. So there you go.
Oh wait, that was you? Oh, I know. I've seen that clip.
That was me. That was me. I got just about everybody that round because that was one of my most exciting tournaments I've ever been to. And I've been to Worlds literally like 5 miles from my house, but that tournament was awesome.
I love that course. I hope we go back soon.
I love the fact that I know we're coming back to this, but yeah, I know I'm a terrible interviewer, but going to that course where you have 3 courses on the property where you have all the women playing at the same time. I did not realize that wasn't the norm for U.S. Women's. That they were on different properties playing the different stuff. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was incredible. Okay, now back to the final round. You start off with the lead, and Holland comes back, was just on a tear. Start off with 5 birdies in a row, then 5 out of 6 just on a tear. Do you keep up with the other scorecards, other people scoring as you're going, or you try to just stay in the moment and do your thing?
If someone else is doing good, I definitely feel like I'm kind of like aware of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in a round like this where I kind of need to be aware and know my spacing and what risks I can take and
Mm-hmm.
when it's better to play safe. And I mean, when you come out that hot out of the gate and you're just like playing perfect, it's kind of hard not to notice.
Yeah. I actually forgot she was on the same card. I was thinking she was on Chase card, but she was on the same card. So, it's tough not to see her doing it. All right, let's go to the last 2 holes where it was just, to me, incredible to watch. I just finished watching the European finish of that, which they played in a hurricane, basically.
Yeah.
and then I come over and it's like, oh my gosh, fingernails gone as I'm gnarling on them watching y'all play. Going up to 17 and 18, knowing you needed to do something. I mean, how did you execute those amazing shots?
I think a lot of it I was trying to make sure I committed to my shots because I felt like in that little middle stretch of the round where I started playing not as good, I wasn't throwing as confident. And so my goal for 17 and 18 was to just throw my shots as confidently and as committed as I possibly could. Mm-hmm. And I ended up being in a way better spot on 17 and honestly 18 than I had been in practice or in the other rounds of the tournament. So that was good.
Because when you got to 18, me and one of my friends, we were texting back and forth. I was like, they need to get up the hill and to the left. They got to get to the left.
It's right, but oh yeah, on tee. Oh yeah, off tee.
Yeah, on your tee shot. Yeah, on your tee shot. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Left's way better.
Yeah, because I was like, if they're off to the right, I mean that's tough for them. He's like, we'll see. I was like, oh, it's so exciting. So you threw your tee shot, and from watching on TV, it looked like a pretty good spot. Was that really good for you?
On 18, yeah, 18. That was probably about as good as I could possibly do. The run up was a little bit uphill, but honestly, every spot in the fairway was uphill, so that was to be expected.
Mm-hmm. So, and you see, Holland, she threw that straight shot, and it didn't come out. It looked like she was just in a pickle over there. You threw before she did, didn't you? Your second shot, or did she?
Yeah, I threw first.
So, I mean, what was going through your mind thinking, I got through this big Anheuser and it was just an amazing shot. I mean, you couldn't have dropped it beside the basket any better than that. That was amazing.
Yeah, the day before I threw it, I was in a pretty similar spot, but I had done a different disc.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hazarded out a little bit, went too long at the end, went left. And so I was kind of thinking about that and trying to correct for my mistake the day before and really making sure that I got over on it enough for it to turn. I think the wind was also good. The wind was kind of pushing from left to right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of helping me get over to the basket. And yeah, honestly, same thing. I was just thinking that I really need to commit to the shot. And, if it works, it works.
At what point did you say, I won?
There was kind of the initial thoughts of would you throw out of bounds of maybe I have actually won this thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I didn't accept that I won until she didn't play so first when she threw her shot out of bounds, my caddy was telling me that he thought that she crossed up there. So mm-hmm. I was thinking she was going to have a 30-footer to tie.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't accept that she didn't have that until she didn't play it out. Because originally she threw her up shot and she said, I'm going to play provisional and I'm going to go up there and ask if I crossed. But then she kind of just never played the provisional and just played out and took the 7 and whatever she took. And I was like, mm-hmm. This is actually real. She didn't cross. This is her shot. She's actually going to take this number and I'm actually going to birdie. And so at that point.
Man, I was watching. I didn't, when you said provisional, I was like, I didn't remember provisional. It's because she didn't throw one.
Well, she said provisional when she was throwing that up shot.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got up there, the spotter was kind of yeah, you didn't cross. So
okay.
There was no reason to keep playing a provisional since she wasn't in bounds.
Okay. So, and then you drop in. And to me, one of the best things about this sport is all the players come running over. I mean, you don't see that in other sports. People you're competing with, and they come over and give you big hug. I mean, how amazing was that?
That honestly felt really cool. One of the inside worries that I always had, since I don't really have a friend group on tour or anything, was that one day I was gonna win and there was gonna be nobody there to run out for me. But I mean, everybody that I was even minorly friends with was there, and they hugged me. I mean, it was great. Honestly, it made me feel really good. It's probably why I was crying even more than I already was.
They showed your dad on there. Oh my goodness. I never had kids, but I taught mixed martial arts and I taught kids. Whenever they would get something, I'm like the proud parent almost. So seeing how happy he was. And one thing he did that totally got me is they showed him, he's like, no, her, not me, her. I was like, that's awesome, man.
I didn't even see that.
If you go back and watch it, it's on there. But I was like, man, first thing, have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Okay, well he looks similar, not exactly similar to the guy that played Negan on there. I was like, why is Jeffrey Dean Morgan on there? Which I thought was awesome. But and we're going to show this too. And that trophy pretty heavy.
Yeah, it was decently heavy.
Because because on the commentators are like, when you kind of lift it and kind of tilt it a little, like, yeah, it's kind of a heavy trophy.
It's because I picked it up and I didn't hold it right, and so when I tried to lift it, it dropped and I spilled the water that was in there all over me. But they actually cut it off. On the live coverage, you can't tell. The live coverage, it cuts to my dad, and so you don't see it. But if you watch the Jomez coverage, it slow-mos me dropping it and then catching it last second.
So after the win. This was just announced. I saw it today, but you can go over to Discmania. There's a link down below, and you can get the 2025 Discmania Challenge Cadence Burge disc. So definitely go over and check that out. I saw. I was like, that's pretty awesome.
It is pretty cool. I'm excited for it.
Which disc is that? The C line.
It's a sea line notion.
Okay. So what is that?
A notion is an understable putter.
Okay.
I throw an Exo Soft notion in my bag. It's like a base plastic one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Now, we talked about that, which, man. When are you leaving to Europe?
We're leaving on Monday. And we're going to Norway.
So, when is Worlds is at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, Worlds is in like 3.5 weeks.
Oh, I forgot about the what's it called? The at the disc golf in Zodiac.
European Disc Golf Festival.
Mm-hmm. Have you been there before?
No, I've never been to Europe before, so this is my first time ever going over there.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm jealous. All right, now let's go back to the beginning of Cadence disc golf. How did you get started in disc golf?
So my dad has been playing for basically as long as I've been alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of been around him as he, throws discs all the time. But I didn't start playing for real until I was about 8. I played in my first tournament at one of my home courses. It was just like a 1-rounder with some other kids. And that was my first full round ever. And I played for a year or 2 after that, like kind of just some. And I took a break for a year because I didn't like it. And then I got back into it again in 2019, and I've been playing ever since.
Yeah, when I first started playing, I played like 10 rounds, and there's one hole here in Lynchburg at Peaksview Park. It's kind of slanted down to a pond. I lost like 7 discs in 10 rounds. It's like, this game's stupid. I'm never coming back. I came back like 20 years later.
Wow.
No need to rush, right? It only took I said it only took a pandemic to get me back.
Oh, there you go.
Now I'm addicted. Did you have an athletic background before playing or no?
I played other sports, but I wouldn't say I was like a super athletic child or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I did gymnastics for honestly most of my childhood up until I was 10. And I did soccer for a year, but I was never really like into any other sports other than disc golf.
Nice. Does your hair get in your way when you're playing?
No, not for me at least. I get that question a lot. I mean, if it was down, it would definitely it would hit me and it'd probably get in the way when I was putting because it gets over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's up, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome because I just like that's a lot of hair. Juniors. When did you start playing in juniors and what was your junior career? Because I really didn't look that up yet.
I played junior from 8 to 15. At first, that was all I ever played. I would just play like a division by myself. And then when I got like a little older, I started playing in FJ4, FJ3, FJ2, FJ1. Not FJ, FA1, and all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
My junior career, after I was 10, I never really played juniors unless it was a junior-only tournament. So, I would play with the women, but then I would go to Junior Worlds. I went to Junior Worlds in 2021 and 22. And I got second both years. And I played AM Worlds both of those years as well. And I actually won AM Worlds in 2022. So, that was pretty cool. That's
awesome. So you've got that clutch gene to, at the end of a tournament to finish the tournament. I see so many people that they get toward the end and let's see, we talked about Robbie. The youth movement we have going on, and especially I feel like more with the FPO than the MPO. There's a lot of talented younger players right now. I just wrote down a couple here. We have Ellie Ezra, Rebecca Don, Taylor. If I mispronounce her name, is it Chochek? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider her younger. I mean, she's like 24. She's not like.
Well, she got out of college.
Yeah, but she's not like 18 like me and Ellie are.
Yeah. Trinity.
Jenny.
Addison, who is I think she might actually still be.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't think Addison's played a pro tour event before.
Okay. Shelby, who is which I have a Shelby Mini over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a glow in the dark Mini, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, cool. She didn't give me one of those. But...
Really? I mean, I can show you what it looks like.
Oh yeah, it's her. That's what it's. I have one of those discs on my wall with that stamp, but I don't have a mini.
Oh, it glows in the dark too.
I think. Oh yeah, I think mine might go in the dark too, actually.
She just put that. She put that up like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "That's pretty awesome." So yeah, I had to get one of those. So what do you think that the Pro Tour is going to look like in 5 years, 10 years, with the youth coming up? Because I look at, like I say, at your group, and I know Taylor's a little bit older, but she just really started playing out of college. I see so many young players, especially in the juniors, coming up. That's going to be absolutely amazing. So what are you looking at? What do you think it's going to be like in a few years?
I mean, almost all of those people have the potential to be, top 10 or better. Mm-hmm. I think also there's a couple of European girls that have the same, like there's a girl on lead card tomorrow, Ida, I don't know how to say her name, but she's 15, making lead cards at Pro Tour events, mm-hmm. and some other girls, the other Ida and Julia Force. There's a lot of upcoming talent. I think all of them are just getting better, and all of them are getting experience. Mm-hmm. And I think some of the players that are kind of veterans right now, they're still good. Obviously, they're super good, and they're still consistent out there. But I don't think they're like getting much better. They're kind of just staying where they're at, staying really good. And I think that all these people have the potential to get just as good or even better.
Mm-hmm. I talked to Juliana Corver. It was in 2023, and I asked her, I was like, in 5 years, who's going to be the world champion? And she said, I don't even think we know who that is yet. I don't think they've come up yet.
That's possible. That is possible.
And I was like, wow. Because that blows my mind, because I was looking at Virginia Pokinghorn. She won FA1 at U.S. Women's in Burlington that year. And Addison Woodard, she was, I think, 2 or 3. And two of my friends, Brooke Johnson and Rebecca Minnick, they were like, yeah, it's just not fair. They could be playing FA15. Why are they playing in my division?
Brooke and Rebecca are funny. I know them too.
Yeah.
I know them too.
Yeah. Brooke lives here, so me and her we see each other a lot around here, and so it's pretty awesome. What was your first big tournament like on the Pro Tour? Was it the 2023 U.S. Women?
My first big tournament. No, I played a couple other times before that, but that was my first year playing Pro Tours. Mm-hmm. My first Pro Tour was Open in Austin in 2023, mm-hmm. and I think I played MCO, Champions Cup, Preserve, Idlewild, and then U.S. Women's. That was my little stretch that year.
Which Champions Cup was it? Was that in?
It was the last time that it was in Georgia.
Oh,
I loved that course. I wish it could go back.
I hope it grows back. I've heard they almost had to demolish the whole thing. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think they're working on putting another course out there, but it's not going to be the same.
Oh, man. It's like here in Lynchburg at New London Tech, they've had to redo the whole course.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's not as good. It's really not.
Actually, I was talking to Brooke like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, and she was telling me the same thing. She's like, yeah, it's just not as fun.
It doesn't flow as well at all. And I feel bad for them because they kind of had to patch it together.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I love that course too.
Yeah, I love playing that course. And Rebecca Minnick just said, Cadence is very talented. She literally just messaged me that.
Is she watching or did she just say that?
Apparently, I don't know which. I don't know. Rebecca, if you message. But that's pretty awesome. Did you like because there's 2 courses here, and I'm sure you're going to be here at the end of the year for the Players Championship. Did you like Ivy?
No.
I hated it.
I hated Ivy. I love New London. And I hated Ivy.
Yeah. See, that's how I felt about it. I played it. I was like, this is a horrible course.
It was not my favorite. I'm not gonna say it was horrible, but it didn't really suit me at the time, and I think I threw a B like a total of 20 times over the course of my tournament there. So not good. Hopefully, we'll do better this year at the Pro Tour Championships.
What is your favorite course on tour?
My favorite course that's like on tour consistently is probably Northwoods. I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably Northwoods.
See, that's a place I would love to play. I want to play Maple Hill at some point.
Honestly, I didn't really like Maple Hill, oddly enough. Even though like I like all these other wooded courses, I just wasn't a fan of that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because it was a little bit on the longer side, and so like while it was a wooded course, I was still kind of like forced to throw my distance driver in the woods a bunch, which I didn't like. I prefer the more like fairway mid-range wood golf.
You might not like New London.
Well, they haven't put the FPO layout in yet. So
yeah, that's true. That is true, and
I will not like the FPO layout. I would agree.
I mean, I know they're still got a lot to do. I saw Paul Macbeth out there a few weeks ago, and he's still telling, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. So, yeah. Fingers crossed. The biggest issue I had with it was there were several holes where between holes there was a long walk. The old course just flowed so nicely, and it's like, why am I walking like over a quarter of a mile between holes?
Yeah, I don't love when courses do that.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I thought you were going to say that your favorite course was the one you just won on.
Well, I did like that course, but I wouldn't say. I mean, it wasn't my. I mean, I liked the course for sure, but I wouldn't say it was like my favorite tour course. Mm-hmm. I think it suited me, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, a couple more wins, I guess.
Okay.
What is like when you started playing? Were you playing more wooded than open, or?
I mean, I would say the courses around me, like in my hometown, mm-hmm. are mostly shorter wooded courses, like par 3, 4,500 foot type courses. So for the most part, yeah, I was probably playing more kind of casual wooded golf than I was open golf.
When did you know you could compete on the Pro Tour?
Okay, it kind of depends. So my first Pro Tour event, I played open in Austin, and I played super bad the first rounds, but the second rounds, I shot like +1 or something, pretty close to par. And for me at the time, that was like super good. It was like 950, like kind of cash line golf, and that kind of made me and my dad be like, oh, like maybe I can play rounds good enough cash, because I think prior to that tournament, I wasn't really sure if I was like skilled enough to be able to cash on one of these tournaments. My next tournaments didn't really go that well, but then we go to Idlewild, and after my first round, I actually make lead card, and so that was my first ever lead card experience, and it didn't go super well for me third day. I dropped back like a decent bit for where I was, but I mean, just seeing how I competed in that field, I got top 10 in a field of some of the best women in the world. And, while it was missing all the European players, similar to how this tournament was, I think that made me realize that, I can actually compete with these people. I can go on a card with these people that I have looked up to, and this is super cool.
Actually, that was a question I'm about to ask. Who did you look up to before you got on the tour?
It kind of changed throughout the ages. Like, when I was, like, a lot younger, like maybe like 2018, 2019 type, I would say like I looked up to like Paige Shu and Paige Pierce. Those were some of the people that I really enjoyed watching. And then as I got like closer to pro, like 2021, 2022, I really liked watching Christian and Missy and Owen. Those are probably my favorites.
So what was it like the first time you played with them?
Oh, I played with them all for the first time at different times. I actually played with Missy at Idlewild, so that was like my big, like, oh my god, I'm playing with Missy Gannon type thing at Idlewild, which that was, terrifying and probably slightly part of why I did so bad. I mean, the nerves were very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And I played with Kristen Tar for the first time, actually, at that tournament you were at in North Carolina, at U.S. Women's. I played with her. I mean, that was crazy. I watched her shoot, like, the hot rounds, I think, and she actually moved up to, like, tied for... I checked through, like, 13 holes, and I'm like, how is she winning? How is she winning right now? How is it even possible? So, I mean, just, I think seeing the way they play and their consistency, just how good they were, just, I mean, it amazed me. I love watching them.
When you're playing, do you ever have that, like in your head, you're like, do I run? Well, not really run, like if really go for a shot versus let me just take a safe shot and make sure I get something here. Do you ever have that battle in your head? Because when I'm playing my little local courses, there are times I'm like, okay, I know if I put it over here, I'm guaranteeing a par. But if I really go for it, I might have a shot at a birdie.
Yeah, I think that's a really important aspect of, I mean, in casual, like, leagues and tournaments, I mean, I wouldn't say there's much of that because the courses just, they don't really bring that out of you. But on these Pro Tour courses, I think strategy is a big part of who's playing good versus who's not playing good. Being able to golf is super important. Knowing when the proper times to lay up versus go big is super important. And sometimes the safe shot is actually a better idea than the bigger shot.
I actually think that's why I like FPO better than MPO. Because I feel like on MPO, I feel like their tournaments, it's like if you don't get a birdie, you lost at least a shot.
Yeah, a lot of other courses are like that.
And I feel like on FPO, I feel like there are times it's like you can take a par, you're really not going to lose very much. And I feel like that's what I really love FPO better than MPO. Then again, I can't throw 500 feet, so there is that. Someone asked this question. When did you lose your glasses?
I think last June I lost. I didn't lose them. I switched to contacts last June for no particular reason other than I just kind of wanted to. My first tournament without them was Preserve of last year, and since then I've been contacts.
See, I love contacts, but my eyes just don't like them anymore. But man, I love contacts. I remember you at that tournament in Burlington, and I can't remember, and I still don't know to this day. In the little merch area, which was all of like 4 vendors, which I was very disappointed in. But I was like, is it you or is that Cynthia Ricciardi? I don't know. Now, years later, I can tell the difference. But at that time, I was like, which one is it? I don't know.
I feel like we look decently different. Although I have signed discs on her behalf. Like, someone's came up to me and been like, Cynthia, please sign my disc. And I just don't have the heart to say no, so I just sign it anyways. And she told me similar stories. She does the same thing.
Yeah, but again, at that time, I had never really seen you two in person or anything. Now I can like, okay, that's one and that's the other. I know now. But that's hilarious. They signed some of her discs. That's funny. You should sign both names. Well, they got 2 signatures.
I should do that.
maybe like Cynthia Ricciardi, and then have your name below. That'd be awesome. Who is your dream card? Which I feel like by now you've maybe played with pretty much everybody.
I feel like this is one of my questions I got on my story, and I can't remember what I said anymore. I would say just for like the players, it'd probably be Owen. Actually, okay, right now I think it'd be Owen, and then Evelina, and Kristen.
If there is one thing you could trade, like would be someone's driving, someone's putting, someone's something else, what would you trade with one other person that would make your game better?
I trade, so I give them what I have.
Yep. And you get what they have.
I would steal Ella's forehands, and she could have my sad. She could have my sad forehand, and I'll take hers.
Because I was like, man, I would love to have Owen's putting. My goodness, that would be awesome. Or Evelina's driving. It's like, my goodness, that'd be amazing.
True. That is true.
Let's see. What is someone just asked, Maddie P? What is your mental game and form for C2 and C1 edge putts?
Wait, what is my mental game and what is my what? Is this
Yeah, like two separate questions.
Okay.
Let's say like your form. Do you change your form? Do you step putt? Do you jump from outside? From C2, or if you're right on that edge, do you feel uncomfortable in that area or what?
No, I don't like change my putt just if I'm just outside the circle versus inside the circle.
Mm-hmm.
I have kind of like a staggered spin, slightly putt. It's mostly a spin putt
Mm-hmm.
on a pretty steep hyzer, not steep hyzer, but hyzer. I'd say depending on how far, when I straddle putt outside the circle, from like probably 40 and out, I often step, but only on straddles. It just helps me get more power. I don't have as much power. Sometimes I'll step if I'm like 55, 60 feet and I need that little extra push. And I don't usually jump until I'm outside of 75, I'd say.
I'm throwing at that distance. It's like a throw putt is what I call it. It's not a putt. It's like a throw putt.
Yeah, I guess that's common.
And by the way, Maddie, big congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's see. What is your favorite discs?
So my favorite putter is the Exosoft Link. It's my putting putter, and it's also my throwing putter. So basically, anytime I'm using a putter, it's probably a Link. It has a little bit of stability. It's great. My favorite mid-range is probably the Origin. I have two in my bag right now. They're what I throw on my upshots in 17 and 18. One of them gets a super straight flight. And the other one's a little flippy, so just a little bit turn out of it, and I love them. And my go-to drivers, for fairways, my favorite right now is probably the Essence. I have 3 or 4 in my bag. They all do different things.
Wow.
And for distance drivers, the Paradigm is my go-to disc. On these Pro Tour courses, I throw it a lot. So if you ever see my purple koi fish disc, that's what it is.
How did you actually get your distance? Because I mean, that is the one thing that kills me. I know my form is absolutely atrocious, but did you ever have a coach really work with you on that, or just your dad working with you on that?
So I had a coach like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, but it was more of like just a couple of times thing, and it was a local guy, a local MPO player actually, who my dad asked to help me. And I think back then it did help me a little bit. But I didn't start throwing a little further until 2023 when I started doing just like a bunch of repetitions in my net. I would throw all the time, every single day, and that helped me a bunch. And since then it's kind of been on and off. Like sometimes I throw far, sometimes I don't throw far. Right now I throw far, but like 4 months ago I wasn't throwing far at all. So kind of up and down for me.
So throwing into a net helps you. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's just building repetition, and I think building speed, and like watching yourself on video, and then trying to fix like those little things you see. That's kind of what helped me.
Because I throw into the net, and my biggest thing is like I don't know what the disc is actually doing because I'm throwing it 5 feet.
Well, it doesn't help if you're trying to like work on shot shape,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're trying to work on form and like maybe trying to get your arm higher or trying to get your legs further apart, like it kind of helps with those things because you can watch yourself and slow it down and then make the changes immediately into the net.
Did you play at Rock Hill last year? Winthrop?
And Winthrop?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, now I feel bad for actually asking that question.
I did play, yes.
Did you before you really got playing on the Pro Tour, did you watch a lot of Pro Tour stuff?
Yeah. We have a DGN subscription, or we had a DGN subscription before, and we watched it every weekend.
See, I watch all the time, and I like when I'm not watching what's going on, because I love live coverage better than the condensed stuff. because I want to see all the shots. I mean, how did they get places? You know, and everything. And but I also watch a lot of older videos and how courses have changed through the years, like Winthrop. When I got there last year, first time I'd been there, and there were holes I'm just like, I don't even know that's how that course was. That hole was.
It's always different in person, too. I mean, even though I watch all these videos, I get there and it still looks different somehow.
Did you have somebody like give you tips on a course like Winthrop the first time you played there? Did you play with someone that, you know, practice rounds with someone that played it, or?
I don't think so. I just played with my friend, and I think neither of us had really seen the course before. But honestly, after a couple times, I play it once or twice, and I kind of understand where you need to go. I don't really need that extra advice from somebody.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, if you can pick one tournament to win, what is it going to be? I think I should know this.
I mean, Worlds. I mean, who doesn't want to win Worlds, right? That would obviously be the coolest thing.
I mean, I've been to Worlds, and for me, I swear I do believe that down there at Winthrop, man, that's where I would want to win. I feel like it's a very special place.
It would be iconic, that is for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they should make Throw Pink a major?
So, okay, I'm biased here because I hate Winthrop. So, I don't really want to play major there every year. I'm totally cool with it being an A2 that doesn't count for anything. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they didn't make it a major, because I definitely don't want them to like take away U.S. Women's. I think U.S. Women's is super important for what it is. And I think USGC is super important for what it is, as like, I mean, it's iconic, that's what it is, and I understand why it doesn't have an FPO side. So I think it's fine the way it is, honestly.
See, I would love it to be a major. I just don't know how they can do it, because I would not want them to change U.S. Women's.
Yeah, I don't want to trade that.
I mean, I love how they have that set up. You have, like I say, when I went down there, and around here we have like about 10 women that kind of play, and you rarely have more than like 5 at a time playing. So being down there and see all these women from 7 years old, like to 70 plus years old playing, it's like, this is the great.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they should do that for men?
Like a U.S. men's?
Yeah. I mean, obviously not at Winthrop, but I mean, have like that big event where you have all the different tiers, the different levels playing like they do at U.S. Women's, because to me that is so awesome.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the whole point of women, or of U.S. Women's, is the fact that there isn't as many women playing the tournament, and they don't have like spaces. Like a lot of times, like your local league, like women don't want to go play the local league with all the guys that are drunk and have their dogs, and there's no other girls there. But U.S. Women's is like this unique space where literally everybody playing is a woman. So I mean, you can go out there, you see people like you said of all ages, and it's its own thing. Versus like every tournament is a men's tournament. Your local C tier, every single one of them is a guy. Maybe 2 of them are women, maybe. But I mean, there are so many opportunities, and there's not nearly as many opportunities for women.
I think that is absolutely right. Absolutely right. I did not think of it from that perspective, and that is absolutely correct. That's why that makes that tournament so special. What is Maddie again? What is your thoughts about going to play in Europe coming up?
Like this season or next season?
Yeah, it's coming up now with everything, with the Worlds in Finland and everything.
I mean, I think it's super cool. I've never been to Europe before, and so I'm super excited that they've put these majors over here, and it's kind of given a lot of people the opportunity to go over there that have never gone there before, or at least it's opened up a reason to go over there. I think it's super cool because Europe has a different atmosphere. There's different disc golfers, like I was saying, those juniors that are coming up. A lot of those girls, they don't come over to the U.S. They only play in Europe. So I'm gonna get to play alongside these people and meet all these new disc golf talents, and see. I mean, the culture of Europe is way different than it is here. I'm excited for the whole trip, honestly.
I would love that. Is there any course in Europe that you've heard about that you say I really want to play that course?
So I don't watch a bunch of European coverage because it's always at 3 a.m.
Yep.
And I'm not like a post-produced watcher.
Yep.
So if I don't watch it live, I'm not watching it, honestly. But I'm pretty sure Croco is the #1 course in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I definitely want to see what the #1 course in the world is like.
Yeah, I know Albert Tom. I believe that's the course he said was his favorite.
It's
And he
probably a lot
played
of
all
people's
the courses. Is have you played with many of the Europeans? I mean, outside of the main like 4 that come here. I think it might be more than 4, but I'm just saying.
I've played with a couple. I've definitely played with more than just Kristen, Evelina, Hannah, Silva.
Mm-hmm.
I've played with a couple other girls.
Are they chatty?
Most of them I would say aren't really chatty. A couple like I play with Anakin. Anakin's always super friendly.
Mm-hmm.
She talks to me. But definitely not all of them are super talkative.
I always wonder because I know when Silva first came, I remember she did an interview, and I felt so bad for her because I was like, I don't think she knows what's being said to her.
She's not a fan of them.
All right. Gosh, I actually asked all my questions really early. The last few were just making up on the fly. So Worlds, you're going to get there and going to dominate, bring home a trophy.
I can only hope. That would be best case scenario.
I'm really rooting for you. I mean, there's so many amazing players, and every year the FPO gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It's absolutely crazy.
I agree. It is. It's really cool to see.
Because when I first really watching, it was Paige or Katrina Allen. That was it. Yeah. I mean, Sarah Hokum would be there, but it's really those top 2 week in, week out. Now it's like every week we can have a different winner. And to see you come up so young winning and knowing it's just the beginning. Just the beginning. So where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
I don't know. Honestly, I hope to just be playing as good as I am now. But I definitely think there's room for improvement. I would have loved to, win more Pro Tour events, win more majors. And right now, I haven't really thought too much about like my goals because winning a Pro Tour has always been the goal, and so I kind of just had new ones. But I guess I would love to have a season where I'm either like a points leader maybe, or like I get #1 in PGA or PDGA like rankings, something like that would be cool.
Hey, if you believe it, you can achieve it.
Honestly, just being a top 5 player is kind of like top 5, top 10 kind of player. That's the goal.
Just giving yourself a chance to win every week.
Yeah, being in it. That's the goal.
There you go. Again, thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. I know I'm like one of the worst interviewers ever, but I have quite the passion for the game. And I love sharing people's stories, and I definitely hope to see you. Well, I should see you down in Winthrop.
I will be there.
Oh, you know what? I will see you here in Lynchburg at the end of the year too.
Sure, I will be there too.
Yep. Oh, okay. There was one more question, Maddie. Any thoughts on going to college or just disc golf right now?
So I actually am going to attend college, kind of. I'm doing online college at Arizona State.
Awesome.
So I'll be getting my degree, but my plan is to full-time Disc Golf Pro Tour next year and hopefully for years to come.
Mm-hmm. How hard was it to play while in high school?
When I was doing in person, it was kind of just like inconvenient because I had to constantly like be missing days and be trying to make up tests and stuff, and it's kind of annoying to some of my teachers. But it wasn't that bad because I'm a pretty good student, and so much is digital nowadays that even though I was an in-person like high school student, a lot of our stuff is still online. And I switched to online school for my senior year, and that really helped. I was able to complete all my work while I was on the road, and I wasn't worrying about it as much. So I'm expecting some more things for college.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, that's all we got. Remember, go check down below. You can get the links and go pick up this disc because I'm going to get one. That is awesome.
Everything supports me, so thank you.
And we have links below for this. Discmania, Monkey, what was it? Monkey Grip. Monkey Grip, and Birdie Bags. So definitely check out everybody, support her, and again, thank you so much. And like I always say, you can get back just about everything, but when you give someone your time, that's the one thing you can never get back. So thank you for sharing your time with all of us. So much appreciated.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me on.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we got. And you guys have an incredible day.